Hi guys, this is Chris and Rich from Retro Sanctuary and welcome to Retro Weekends, where we try to complete the most notable games from gaming history.
Today we're going to attempt to complete Skyblazer for the Super Nintendo. This is an arcade action game released in 1994 for the system, and it's a game that I'm fairly familiar with. I think we can complete this pretty easily. So have you played it before?
No, I haven't played it at all, so it'll be quite an interesting game for me to play.
You want to try out then?
Let's go. Right, here we go.
Right, so as I said before, it's an arcade action game. You've got a normal attack. It does like a combo if you press the button 3 times as well.
Oh yes.
You can climb up walls, so just clamp on and you sort of just push up and you'll climb up them. If you press the X button, you do a special move, and you collect more as the game goes on. But every time you use a special move, it decreases that bar. To be honest, the gameplay kind of works exactly the same as Mega Man in a lot of ways.
Is that a secret area up there?
I'm not sure, it does look quite suspicious, doesn't it? But I've never really gotten anywhere there.
Must be on this side over here, surely.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Nice one. I don't think I've ever been in there. Where does it go though? That's the question.
Have we skipped some levels?
It probably was a bit faster, didn't it, mate?
Ah! I don't want to be on this side.
Yeah, you've only got one piece of health left there.
Have I?
Oh, yeah, you're about to die.
Yeah.
Nice one. Right, so we've got our first move now.
Comet Flash.
So now we can sort of zoom forwards, attacking things in our way.
Oh wow.
Little flying section.
That's cool. It's a very James Bond-esque soundtrack.
Yeah, I was
behind us.
thinking that actually. Sort of a memorable effect, this really, isn't it? I think all of these games that have this effect, because you saw it quite a bit in the 90s. Like Dynamite Headdy has this effect as well in one section, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this effect was introduced to the general public by Nebulous, the Commodore 64 game. A lot of the time there's a game that you've never heard of that will have done something first. But this effect is so distinctive that I think it's pretty fair to say that it was taken from Nebulous. This 8-bit computer game, its whole gameplay was based around this rotating effect where you would try and like climb these towers.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that game, it must have had some effect on people, because you see it in loads of different games.
You do. None of that. Oh, I got in. Oh, I didn't get in
You
there.
can lose lives quite quickly here, actually, this section.
Nah, it'll be fine. Oh, come on!
God.
I just couldn't.
You're rushing it.
This bit here. Let's check it. There we are.
Pretty good usage of the Super Nintendo's rotating and zooming background effects here. So this thing here is actually just drawn on a background essentially, and the entire background is rotating. But you can't see that because it's all brown. It's all like one colour, the background. The sections at the side are probably sprites. Nice one. What moves did we get now?
Heal.
Right, we can heal whenever we want now, but it uses up some of these things.
That's fine. Oh, cool.
A little flying section.
There we go. Lots of one-ups there.
Oh, we got a lot of lives now, haven't we?
23. They just throw lives at you in this game, didn't they?
We've got an extra bar in our health as well now.
Ah.
Oh, shit. It's all like they're all at the top of the bleeding screen, man.
Use heal and then get that red. There you go. That's disgusting. They give you stupid amounts of lives and they give you a weapon that can heal yourself as well.
Yeah. Oh, prick. So you fall down here, dickhead. They like their old crushing sections, don't they? I actually quite like crushing sections, to be honest.
I do if it doesn't cost you too much. You had time.
That's why you kept dying earlier, because you're reckless. You're reckless, Wallace.
You're a loose cannon. Now turn in your gun and badge. I never touched that.
Hit detection on those things is very iffy. So you've got to keep track of what direction these are going, because if it's going down, you're going to fall to your death.
And if I jump down up there, it's going to take me back to the start.
Yep. Jump up there, though.
Oh, no. Yeah, I planned for that. Yeah, totally planned for. No. No. Yes. Maybe. Yes. I knew what I was doing. I'm dropping it. Not all the way down. Oops.
You have to go back through again.
That's alright.
You have to use that forward dash move.
Yeah.
You have to do it again. That's it. Yeah, the company that made this game, they're not really a particularly famous company, but I looked into them a bit, and they seem to have worked with SNK quite a bit after this game.
Right.
So they did a lot of stuff for the Neo Geo Pocket and such.
Yeah.
And they made the Metal Slug games on the Neo Geo Pocket, which are actually excellent games as well. Highly recommended. Great little handheld.
The hit detection on this is really starting to get on my nerves. This bit's going to kill me again. No. Oh, it didn't do it that time. Huh. Irony.
Oh, that's,
No one too left.
that's not too bad.
Oh, that's cheap, that is. To actually reuse the same level as well.
Yeah.
They could put the
That
boss in a different section.
environment. Yeah.
Skinny teeth.
That took ages. Well, I could have just healed again.
It's quite ironic that I did all the bosses now. You're
It
doing
is
all the
weird,
bosses.
isn't it?
Yeah.
It was just because it was every other level was a boss fight, so you ended up with all of them.
No need to Phoenix.
Yeah, you actually have to have this, otherwise you can't hurt him at all.
Oh, right, that breaks the shield.
Yeah. Fuck.
Use your heal.
I think I actually need that, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it gives us the stuff back.
Well, there's another one.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can do it.
I shouldn't have done that. Oh no, I didn't have.
You didn't have that much. Does
So,
the laser hurt you, or does
If I was just ducking, would I have been alright? No.
No. Health, heal. Okay. It's not possible. We've got full energy now. What about using the Phoenix? Can you be hurt while
He's
you're...
not going to move.
Oh, hold on. You just dodged that then. Heal. You need to heal.
Good, I got some hits on him there.
Nice.
Yeah.
His eyes are gone. You've knocked
Good.
his eyes out.
Oh, it's
Done it.
done.
41 lives later.
They didn't scrimp on the lives at all, did they?
Wise words on that.
There's not really much to say about this ending, really, is there?
No, it's basically the same thing repeated. Okay, Rich, what do you think of the game?
I do think it's a pretty fun game to play. It's an entertaining game, maybe a little bit too short. It's not really that inspired. Mega Man X1, for example, has a lot of gameplay that's quite similar to this. You've got the boss fights. When you beat a boss, you get a new move each time. But this is a good gameplay mechanic, you know, because it keeps you getting new things to look at and use. It sort of changes the game up as it goes along, which is quite nice. But I do feel that it's not implemented as well here as it is in Mega Man X, so that is a bit of a problem. It's like it's not integrated into the level design, you know.
Not at all. No, they don't make an integration attempt at all.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got the dash that can be integrated a little bit, and
Yeah.
it is in certain levels.
There are a few sections that need that. Yeah.
Yeah, you've got the heal, which is generically good. The time stop you used once. There literally is no need.
The
for them
moves
to
that you
be
get, they're not that unique or imaginative either. And not to say there isn't variety in the game. There is a lot of variety in this game.
Oh, a hell of a lot.
You know, you've got the normal platforming sections. You've got sections where you clamp onto like moving platforms. You've got the sections in the air with the currents.
That was good. For me, this game was... It started off being good. I started off enjoying it. I liked the level design. I liked the Arabian influences. They were quite cool. I started enjoying the boss fights to a point, but then the boss fights became very generic. They come out, they do their thing, you'd hit them, then they go back and recycle. Rinse, repeat.
Dynamite Heady came out this year, and just compare the boss fights, even the effect in Dynamite Heady to this game. The boss where it just clamps down and rotates the whole screen around. Yeah. There's the face that breaks open as well, and that goes through a bunch of different phases.
Yeah. So they really could have done better on the boss fights.
The boss fights here, some of them were poor as well. I think the dragon boss fight was actually a little bit poor.
Yeah. So what are you going to score it then, Rich?
This was a difficult game for me to actually decide on a score on, because it is polished and it's a fun game to play, and it does have its own elements, but it's just not original enough for 1994 in my opinion. So I've decided that I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. You know, and I nearly did give it a 4. And if it had come out a year earlier, I would have been even more conflicted. But by this stage, you want something a little bit more original and impressive than this, I think. Yeah. It's also a little bit easy as well, which is another knock against it. Yeah. So what do you reckon then?
Well, for all the aforementioned reasons and the fact that you've just mentioned how easy it is, I mean, you have passwords. We ended up with 41 lives. You have a heal which you can abuse because you can find the pickups quite easily if you kill things. But that being said, I was going to give this a 4. Yeah. I really was. But there is one thing that we haven't mentioned that really dragged it down for me, and I almost decided nearly to turn the game off at one point. And that was the hit detection.
Yeah.
The hit detection in this game, oh my good baby Jesus, it was awful. There were points where I was a good 100 pixels away from something and I would be hit and I'd be like, I never touched that.
I'd say it's sort of passable for the most part, but sometimes it will just kill you. You can still have fun with the game. It's not game destroying, you know, but it really is a little bit unforgivable for a game in 1994, really.
Well, you can half forgive it, but I certainly can't. And it's not game destroying, but it's score destroying for me. So from a 4 down to a 3, and not even a higher 3 for me. It's a base straight down the middle 3 for me, unfortunately. Okay, guys, that's Skyblazer for this week. Enjoyable game. Good little time waster.
Yeah, I think it is a good game. It's definitely one to check out.
Something to have a look at. So if you liked it, please give us a like, please give us a comment, and tell us what you think of the game. Maybe you've got some information that we don't. Anyway, guys, we will see you next week for another game, so take care.
See ya.